I am a nurse with Community Health and Counseling Services, and I have never lived anywhere but Maine, but did have the privilege of the military to travel and see lots of other places. And I live in the Bangor area. I am raising my 2 children here. I couldn't imagine raising them anywhere else. And how can we provide, keep our kids here, keep our adults here, and how can we thrive? How can we be successful and maintain ourselves and live a happy, successful life? And hopefully, that's some of what we can do with this project that all of us, This is called a telehealth station. And what it does, it hooks up through your regular phone line. And we would ask you where you would like it. It has to be near a phone jack and an outlet, because it's powered by the phone and by just regular electricity. This station right here is called the hub or the telestation. It's the base unit, and this is the only thing that has to be plugged into the wall or into the phone line itself. Other than that, these devices can be anywhere up to 25 to 30 feet away from the station in your home. So I could sit over on the couch and I can use this equipment because it talks to it through radio frequency. When I set this up, what I did is there are little buttons on here that have little radios, and you guys can play with this and do whatever you want with it when we're all done. And what it does is when I press that button, this main station understands that it's talking to it, and so the information will automatically, once I get my oxygen level, will talk right to the box. You don't have to do anything once it's set up. All you have to do is physically take your measurements. So the first thing that you can do is to check your oxygen level. And so it's pretty simple. All of the machines are the same. It has a blue button, start and stop, and you put your finger right on it, just like you do in the doctor's office, the hospital, or the emergency department, and it will take your reading. And it takes probably 2 or 3 seconds for it to do it. And the reading that it will display, the top number will be your oxygen, and the second number will be your pulse. And so once this goes through, it will show you the number, what it is, and again, it will talk to the telestation and it will tell it what your numbers were. So I must not be breathing very well because I don't have any numbers, but okay, 98%. So my oxygen level is 98, which is good. You want to be above 90. So 98%. So if you'd like, you can take it, pass it around, and play with it. Let her do it? Okay. Nobody's going to see it. Okay. The second one, here's the blood pressure cuff. It's the same thing with the same blue button. And with the cuff, it comes in 3 different sizes. We have small, medium, large, or pediatric, regular, adult, and a large. And so what you do is you just put your arm right up to it. And you press the button. And it's going, I'm going to try to hold still.
Not working.
You just turned it off.
We just turned it off.
She had already pushed start.
And so it will take your blood pressure, and it will also register your pulse. You wait just a minute and I'll help you. So if you made my blood pressure go up to 126/92. So there's your blood pressure. With the oximeter, it takes a little bit. This equipment's cold, it's been in the car. And so once it's in your house, it will warm up to temperature and it will work much quicker than what it is now. But the batteries right now are cold because it was 0 this morning at my house when I chucked everything back out. And it's been in the car since 6 o'clock this morning, so it's a little temperamental.
One thing it helps too when I put it on mine is to make sure that red light's on your nail.
Yep.
So that you want to try it again? I can help you if you want to try it. Okay.
I want to see this thing work.
I'm going to stay right here until we make it work.
I'd appreciate that. She's 98. So that darn thing works. That's good. It does work.
Do you want to try that?
Oh, it's okay. I do it often.
So the next piece, aside from the blood pressure cuff, is the scale. It will talk to you in Spanish or English. And it will read in kilograms or pounds. So, what it will do is if you tap on it, it's going to tell me to please stand still.
Go ahead.
Oh no!
I weigh 250 pounds. So,
You're a good sport.
Please stand still. So she told you to please stand still. Please step off the scale. So, not only did it speak to them, but these numbers are really big, so that you can see them to read them. They're a good size number so that you do have them. That volume is 1, 2, or 3, so she can speak louder or she can be softer, and it can only be a she. You can't change her voice, so she is who she is. So all 3 of these readings now have gone to this little box, and so I have 2 little lights on this box, and what it's telling me is it's holding some results. It's automatically going to send those to my computer program on the other end. You don't have to do anything except take your readings, and it does the rest. This little box is a cardiac monitor. It will read, anybody had an EKG? When you have an EKG, this will read one of the leads of an EKG. We don't use it a whole lot, but we have that capability for the doctor if they want to see what your heart rhythm looks like. One other thing with the telestation is anybody diabetic? Anybody have sugar? Have to check your sugars. In the machine, it's going to ask you if you're a diabetic and your doctor wants you to track your blood sugar. The machine is going to flash at you and say, please enter your blood sugar. And you hit a little button and it scrolls up to the number you want and it records it as many times a day as you want, or at least once a day, depending on when he wants. In the chair is a medication dispenser. I did not hook that up at this point. If somebody has trouble remembering to take their pills, you do. What this does, and you know how the scale spoke to you and said, please step on the scale? The machine is going to say, please take your medicine. And what it's going to do is we pre-fill this machine, or your family, actually we like people to become very self-sufficient with all of this equipment. So they would fill the machine just like you would a pill box. And the machine knows what time your medicines are due. So say if it's 11 o'clock, and it's going to say, please take your medicine. And it's going to light up. This is going to light up, and I'm going to hit that little red button, and it's going to dispense my medication out. And then I have to remember to take it at that point. But it will at least remind me, dispense it for me. And if I don't take it, it's going to tell somebody that you didn't take it. Because on the other end, all of this information comes into my computer program. And so I have your pulse, your blood pressure, I have Tom's weight, and I have...
we'll record that.
We're going to record that. We have Tom's weight, and it shows on my screen. And for every reading that I send through this box, we have those readings. And what we do is we look at them because the doctor tells us, I don't want Mrs. Smith to gain more than 2 pounds overnight. So if I gain 2 pounds overnight, the telehealth nurse who's looking at all my numbers is going to call me and say, are you okay? What did you have for dinner last night? Because I want to know if I ate anything with salt or anything that I'm not supposed to. And how am I feeling? And in the meantime, when I'm talking to people on the phone, I'm listening. How's your breathing? Were you out of breath when you picked up the phone? Do you sound hurried or anxious? There's a lot that we can tell, not just from these numbers, but I can tell just from the conversation that I have with you on the telephone. And it's funny because I talk to a lot of people and I have no idea what they look like. And they have no idea what I look like. But I can tell you what they had for breakfast, I can tell you how they slept, I can tell you everything about them except what they look like. And we do work, people who have heart disease and lung disease, it works very, very well for, because we can start to see, hopefully, before you have an infection or before you gain too much weight that puts you into congestive heart failure versus heart failure, to save you a trip to the doctor, to save you a trip to the emergency department or to the hospital. Because I can't imagine there's anybody here who really wants to go to the hospital. In the meantime, it helps you to learn how to take care of yourself. You get into the habit every single day of taking your weight, taking your blood pressure, so I know that, geez, my blood pressure's high today. Maybe I forgot to take my medicine, to figure out why. But you do learn a lot from people just from the conversations and the numbers that I do see coming through.